So this is a quick video on how to play Arcana Rising, a 1 to 6 player drafting game. First, set up the main display board, and then give everybody one player board. Instruct everyone to get one resource and place it on each discipline column to start the game. Meanwhile, have someone shuffle up the bag and place out the 10 discs, randomized. Next, sort out the cards by their eras. 3, 2s, and 1s, starting the first round with the 1 cards. Shuffle up the round cards and deal every player 6 cards to start their hand with. So what's the objective of this game? You are trying to get the most victory points. How do you do that? You are trying to get resources on each discipline, and every 3 resource in the purple, green, and blue equals 1 victory point. Every resource on the gold is 1 victory point, but then every resource on the red blood is minus a victory point. At the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points is the winner. The main way of getting victory points is by collecting resources. The alternative way of getting victory points are collecting these artifacts, indicated by this rupee gem in the top left corner. These are scored at the end of the game, based on their condition. For example, this left card here says, if you have the most cards underneath the herbology discipline, you gain 5 victory points. No ties allowed. This alternative one here, if you have the most artifacts, which are the cards itself with the rupee gems, you get 5 victory points. No ties allowed. So what do you do on your turn? You are either doing action A, looking at from your hand, and choosing a card to buy and add to your discipline, which is building your engine, or action B, using one of the cards, discarding it, putting it face down to the left in your discard pile, and activating the 2 discs this round that corresponds to your hand size. So, for example, right now, we're on turn 6 because we have 6 cards, which is the start of the game. If I were to discard a card, I would activate the column 6 discs, which in this randomized setup was purple and yellow. So looking at my purple and yellow engine, I would go left to right on my player board, and left to right is purple, green, red, blue, yellow. And any cards I had underneath it, that's what I would activate. So for example, in this red column, going left to right, I would activate the thing on the board, your basic spell, gain 1 blood, grab a resource potion, place it there, and then go everything from top to bottom. And you must cast these spells. The next one says gain 1 blood and 1 victory point. There's another blood token. Victory point on your abacus. I use the white to indicate 1s, and I use the colorful top ones to indicate 10s. The next card in my blood column would be gain 3 blood. 1, 2, 3. So that's how you get resources. Unfortunately, at the end of the game, each blood is minus 1 point. So then why are you collecting a lot of blood, or resources in general? To get victory points, but also, you have to use them to buy the cards itself. So, let's say I got my next hand of cards. So each turn, you always draft 1 card for your engine, or use it for the spells. The cost of a card is in the top left here. So to buy this blood card, the cost would be either 2 potions, which is a specific cost, which is much cheaper, or 4 generic resources, which is a mix of any resources. So this is where blood comes in handy. Since blood gives you minus points, you earn a lot of it really quickly, but they can be used to pay for the cost of cards. So, I don't have enough potions to buy this card, so I would have to use 4 resources to buy this card. So, let's do that. I'll sacrifice 1 blood, potion, green, and purple. There we go. I'll add this card to my engine. So that's round 6. I didn't cast the spells, so round 6 is done. I'll take my hand of 5 remaining cards, pass it to the left. and remove these discs. So now we're on round 5. If anyone were to discard a card to activate their disciplines, they would be activating the blue and green disciplines. For me, I have nothing in these columns. I'll look at the next hand of cards. There should only be 5 because everyone plays one or uses one to activate a discipline. And I can't afford anything useful. I could buy this blue card for the cost of 1 gold or 1 yellow resource, but I think I should spend a card to get resources overall. So I can strategically hate draft, and I think I'll get rid of this card here. Once everyone does their 6 cards, we will remove the round 1 cards. The discarded cards stay there because they become useful later in the game. Randomize the tokens again and shuffle them out. Shuffle the round 2 cards and give everyone 6 to start their hand. And then draft in the opposite direction. In the round 2 cards, cost gets more expensive, as well as a new type of cards appear. Event cards start to appear. They have a cost. For example, this one is 5 blood or 5 generic resources. It is a spellbook icon. Once you pay the cost of the event card, they are a one-time use, and you read the text at the bottom and do it, and then you place it face down into your discard. With these randomized tokens, sometimes you can have the exact same colors in the same column. That's completely fine. You would just run that discipline twice. So this example, red is in the same column. I would activate my red engine twice. After you complete round 2, you would do the last round, round 3, and give everyone 6 cards, and then draft in the opposite direction. At this point in round 3, the costs start becoming significantly higher. This is where you would want to start using your blood to pay for the cost of cards, because every blood resource is -1. And you would like to get resources in bundles of 3 to earn victory points. Any fractional resources under 3 does not count. At the end of the game, count up your resources in bundles of 3, add it onto your abacus, and add up any extra victory points from your artifact cards that you've bought throughout the game. And whoever has the most is the winner. Artifacts are only scored at the end of the game. Evergreen spells activate every time you choose to cast your engine. What are evergreen spells? Looking at the icons here, charms, herb, blood, etc. Events, any resource, any spell. Evergreen spells have the red moon. Looking at each discipline here, looking in the herbology cards, these specialize in having the evergreen spell with the red moon. Every time you cast any card with the red moon on it, for example, this card would activate regardless if the discipline was not in the proper color column. So I could cast this in round 6 where it's double red, and this card would still activate if I had bought it. Blood arts here, -1 victory point. Potions have this unique gimmick here where the first time you use the card, you gotta place a token on it, and then the next time you use the card, you remove the token and you permanently lose the card, pretending to drink the potion. Charms offer bonus effects for having X amount of cards in the required discipline. And alchemy allows you to convert resources into gold, which is a better ratio for points. List of components. Game setup. Overview. On your turn, pay for the spell. There's 5 disciplines. Add it to the proper column. 3 types of cards, events, spells, and artifacts. If you don't want to purchase a spell, you have the option of discarding a card to cast spells in the proper column. Activate the engine from left to right, top to bottom. At the end of the round, refill the board with the tokens and shuffle the next round of cards. the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points is the winner. Blood is -1 point. Major tip in the game, if you use these upgraded tokens compared to the cardboard tokens here, highly recommend that you use these denominations of 1 for the small and 3s, not 5s, but 3s for the big potions. Otherwise, in a 6-player game, you will run out of these upgraded tokens. At that point, you might as well use the cardboard chips in conjunction with the upgraded tokens. If the game is too simple, the game also comes with these special rule cards. You shuffle it up and choose one to play with for the game. For example here, Decree of Plenty. At the beginning of each round, and there are 3 rounds, gain 1 resource of your choice, not gold. If you choose to activate disciplines on the red moon phase, you would activate the lowest of each discipline, including your starter spell, which is your player board. Here's the rules for the solo play, but I personally have not done solo played board games. So feel free to take a picture and read.